So into the arena steps the accomplished Artem Oganesyan. Born in the Russian capital of Moscow, now resides in Montreal in Quebec, Canada. Brings a 14-fight professional record to the ring, 13 wins, just one loss, that loss coming in his last outing against Dante Jordan, losing a unanimous point decision over 10 rounds. It's his first time back in the ring since June of 2022.
Прошу приветствовать боксера из Бобруйска. Встречайте, Aliaksandr Radzionau.
His opponent is making his professional debut. Aliaksandr Radzionau, accomplished boxer from IBA 3-round boxing. Competed in the Tokyo Olympic Games, where he lost in the second preliminary round to the eventual silver medalist and tournament #1 seed Pat McCormack. Commentated on that tournament from the Kabuki-kan Arena, so widely associated with sumo wrestling, but for that summer, in the late summer of the Olympic Games, it was Olympic boxing that was on full display. Here is Aliaksandr Radzionau ahead of his professional debut.
Летний боксер из столицы России. Его рост 174 сантиметра, вес зафиксирован ровно в левине, 71 килограмм. Старт его яркой карьеры был ознаменован победами на чемпионате Европы и мира по боксу. Следом он был признан лучшим молодым боксером планеты в 2015 году. В 2019 он завоевал титул чемпиона мира среди молодежи по версии IBA.PRO. Его профессиональный рекорд составляет 13 побед по обе стороны Атлантического океана, 11 из которых он одержал нокаутом при единственном поражении. Талант всегда имеет обратную сторону. Ему понадобилось без малого 3 года для того, чтобы вернуться на ринг взрослым. Он прибыл за своей новой во всех отношениях победой из Москвы. И он готов. Artem Oganesyan! В бело-золотой экипировке боксер из Республики Беларусь. Его рост 176 сантиметров, вес 70 килограммов и 250 граммов. Он не любит торопить события. И если его соперник в 20 лет, в 25 уже возвращается, то он в свои 24 делает свой первый шаг на профессиональном ринге, доказав себе и другим, что уже добился многого на ринге олимпийском. Перед вами мастер спорта международного класса и действующий чемпион Беларуси из Бобруйска Aliaksandr Radzionau. Рефери этого поединка Бобан Дарьянович, Сербия.
Head up, no holding, no low blow. Listen to the comments. Touch your gloves. Time. Box.
So a brief look at the tail of the tape ahead of this 71 kilogram contest scheduled for 8 3-minute rounds. 71 kilograms just above the super welterweight or light middleweight limit of 154 pounds. It's 156.5 pounds to be exact. The southpaw boxer, the more compact figure, wearing black trimmed with gold. Born in Moscow, resides in Canada. That is Artem Oganesyan, 25 years of age, back in the boxing ring for the first time for 3.5 years. At one point reputed to have the fastest hands in boxing. 14-fight professional record under his belt, 13 wins, just one loss. That was in his last contest in June of 2022. The man who's just scored with a sharp-shooting left jab wearing the white trunks trimmed with gold is a professional debutant, Aliaksandr Radzionau. 24 years of age. The man from Babuis right here in Belarus. He's an Olympian in Tokyo in the delayed games of 2021. A couple of summers ago at the most recent edition of the IBA World Championships, lost in the third preliminary round against the estimable Brazilian Wanderson Oliveira. Good left hand driven into the body by the southpaw. How about that for a combination of punches, ended with a right hand from Radzionau. And again, we mentioned the fact that IBA.PRO nights were inaugurated in January of this year. Part of their mission to make their mark on professional boxing, redefine it in many respects, is to match boxers evenly. And my goodness, it surely can't get much tougher than this for a debut assignment for Radzionau to be facing off against Artem Oganesyan. Not only did he bring that 14 fight experience to the boxing ring, he too was an accomplished operator in the 3-round IBA code. The best in the world when he claimed the world junior crown at 70 kilograms, winning 5 contests out of 5. Looking for that right hook to the body. And again, been out of the ring since June of 2022. But he's rediscovered his timing pretty effectively during the course of that opening round. Some of the action from the first 3 minutes. Each man inaccurate with their right hand during the course of that attempted exchange. So we move into the second round. Good left hand driven into the body by the muscular southpaw, Artem Oganesyan. Seeking to bob and weave inside the apparently longer arms of Radzionau. Radzionau going in search of his own straight punches from that orthodox stance. Seeking to quicken his feet now. Beautiful counter right hook from Oganesyan. Chipping at the knees to vary his height. Thought about letting a corkscrew shot go to the body, but didn't fully commit. 1-2 saw him short. Counter right hand came from Radzionau. Deflected by the glove and forearms on the left hand side by Oganesyan. Beautiful reverse 1-2, right hand then left hand while spinning off the line to his left. Clockwise fashion from Radzionau. Nice movement in the pocket to twist at the waist from Oganesyan. Halfway through this second round, for a muscular right uppercut on the inside was Oganesyan while Radzionau was on the ropes. Mentioned the fact that he won 5. Oh, that's a nice right hook slung into the body, but then look at the counter left hook downstairs in response from Radzionau. And again, the quality possessed by Oganesyan, and yet Radzionau showing no fear of it. We're here in Brest in Belarus. But in his 13th contest, Oganesyan travelled here to the Belarusian capital and was involved in a thrilling contest, an all-southpaw shootout against Aliaksandr Radzionau. Eventually took him out with a 10th round stoppage in a bout that was scheduled for 10, and the right hook which started the rot in a bout where his opponent was bloodied was an absolute howitzer. Dropped his man after the right hook started the damage, put his man on the floor, and then the referee waved it off. So he carries his power late. And his power that is often possessed of blistering speed as well. Radzionau just fights his way out of the gold corner on the sound of the 10-second clapper, and again, effective pot shotting, showing no fear of the reputation or accomplishments of his opponent, Artem Oganesyan. Again, wonderful reverse 1-2, spinning off the line effectively to his left from Radzionau. So a little bit of a delay to get round 3 underway. A 71 kilogram light middleweight contest scheduled for 8. It's an IBA.PRO contest, so it won't necessarily go onto the conventional professional record of the boxers. What is undeniable is that it's the first professional competitive ring action for Artem Oganesyan since June of 2022. Good right hand to the body out of the orthodox stance from Radzionau. There's the lead right hook, and that's the shot that did so much damage in his previous foray to Belarus back in November of 2020 when he scored that 10th round stoppage. Two men getting themselves in just a little bit of a tangle. I mentioned the fact that Oganesyan was the world junior champion, winning 5 contests out of 5 in 2015. The year before that, he was a silver medalist in the European Junior Championships at 70 kilograms, and it was a certain Willie Hutchinson, Scotland's finest, who prevented him from taking top spot on the podium in that continental affair. I was ringside in 2016 to see Willie Hutchinson take world youth gold in St. Petersburg in Russia. And what a run to the gold medal that was. He recently lost the late great Dick McTaggart. Radzionau scores with a good combination to both body and head, and then ends his purple patch of this round with success with the jab. Dick McTaggart, 2-time medalist, taking Olympic gold and Olympic bronze in the following Olympiad. Willie Hutchinson's successes in the youth and junior ranks put him right up there as one of Scotland's finest ever performers in the vest and head guard, because he didn't compete in the seniors as an amateur, Willie Hutchinson. Beautiful reverse 1-2 from Radzionau. To counter Oganesyan. Again, just measuring his man, touching him with the jab to keep him occupied. Radzionau. And these are qualities that, oh, that's a nice lead left hand on the counter from Oganesyan. But the subtlety being shown in the work of Radzionau isn't something you would necessarily associate or equate with somebody making their professional debut. Remember, he's preparing to enter uncharted territory when he hears the timekeeper introduce round number 4, and right on the bell he lands with a spearing right cross driven into the body. Really acquitting himself well against an accomplished, experienced opponent. is Aliaksandr Radzionau. Shaven-headed figure on the phone just joined us was Dmitry Asanau Sr., father of Dmitry Asanau, one of Belarus's best boxers in the three-round code of recent times. So we move into the fourth round, which again represents a brand new venture for the debutant out of the Orthodox stance, Aliaksandr Radzionau. His debut in the professional ranks at the Battle of Brest in Belarus. And lots of experience, including that Olympic appearance and the performance in the IBA World Championships in the most recent edition in Tashkent in 2023. I was ringside to commentate on that tournament and again progressed through to the third preliminary round before being beat on a 4-1 split by Wanderson Oliveira Sugar of Brazil. Two-shot salvo to the body and then escaping without replying. And look at that, double jab, right cross, followed by left-right from Radzionau. And again, he's taking a little bit too long to get off here. Is Oganesyan. And he was part of the conversation during his activity in the ring as to whether he possessed the fastest hands in the sport. Quick fire right hook, but inaccurate with it. And inactivity, perhaps the biggest enemy of a boxer. Oh, look at that. Radzionau burgeoning with confidence now, scoring effectively to both head and body during that three-shot volley. Right hand lead, followed by a couple of jabs. Southpaw left attempted, but having the final word of the exchange with a cracking lead left hook was Radzionau. Again, he's penetrating the hands of the southpaw boxer. Once again, he's trying to adopt the half cover guard here now. He's seeking to tuck his chin behind that muscular deltoid, but he's inaccurate with that lead right hook. And these are things, despite sparring, despite training and all the preparation you will have done for this, can only regain that ring sharpness by spending time in the boxing ring under the lights in competitive action. And maybe Oganesyan discovering that here now, because the debutant is acquitting himself fantastically well. Another round in the book. And this proving to be a pretty challenging ring return for Artem Oganesyan. Because this man, no respecter of his accomplishments or reputation in both the three-round code and the professional ranks as well.
Пятый раунд.
So 4 rounds completed, a potential 4 rounds remain in this 71 kilogram light middleweight contest. And then operating out of the orthodox stance has just grown in confidence the more we've gone into this contest. There was a good left hook scored during the course of that exchange by Artem Oganesyan, the returning southpaw. There he scored with a long left cross which came behind a right jab. He hasn't been able to assert his deeper level of experience here, Oganesyan, because look at movement like that in the pocket, spinning around the target after landing some hurtful shots to the body. And all of the 3-round quality of the Tokyo Olympian on display here in this his professional debut. There's a left hand to the body, which I think Radzionau was complaining was low. It was certainly around the beltline area, but it was a good scoring shot from Oganesyan, who's now trying to bring the corkscrew right hand into play. Good defenses from Oganesyan and countered by a scoring left cross through the middle from Oganesyan. Flurry of punches, there's plenty of motion, and the final right hand did get through the high-held gloves of Oganesyan from Radzionau. So beyond the halfway stage of this 5th round, and again working the body beautifully as he dipped at the knees and was able to sling hooks around the corner. Look at those sharp shooting straight through the middle from Radzionau, uppercut to the solar plexus. And Oganesyan has been beaten to the punch really rather consistently here, as evidenced by that flurry of punches without reply. To counter is Oganesyan, just not taking his feet with him and consistently falling short. No such difficulties on that forward foray from Radzionau. Well, we've got a clash of heads, and has a cut been sustained? I think it has, to the eye of Artem Oganesyan. Always an increased likelihood of that happening in a battle between an orthodox and southpaw boxer. Saw that in our opening contest between Janis Salotsky of Belarus and Joseph Emanuel, the doctor, having inspected the injury, happy for the contest to continue. Well, that's going to present an inviting target for the left jab of Radzionau now. And you can see Oganesyan, not a happy man, making his way back to that black corner. And his problems mounting the more we progress through this contest. Because his opponent, this man in the gold corner, has grown in confidence the more we have gone through this bout, showing his full repertoire of punches and movements in both directions. Accidental clash of heads caused the cut, but there was a cracking left cross landed by Oganesyan, but the more consistent work coming from the home boxer in white. So to round number 6 of a scheduled 8, that injury occurring after Oganesyan landing perhaps his best shot of the entire bout, that crisp left cross. So the referee calling time once again, and I think this Eye injury is going to be inspected because has one been sustained now? It's another clash of heads that has caused another cut. Oh dear me. Clash of heads in round number 5 causing a cut to Oganesyan. Clash of heads here in round number 6 causing a cut to the forehead of Radzionau. And both boxers sustaining injuries, scoring left cross to the body from Oganesyan. The two men find themselves entangled on the inside once again. Beautiful counter left hook to the body from Oganesyan during that flurry of activity from the fists of Radzionau. Approaching the halfway stage of yet another incident-filled round. There was a cut inflicted as a right hook slammed into the ribcage from Oganesyan. His work upstairs has often been short on his ring return, but he is finding success to the body. Left cross not too far away from Oganesyan. And again, on his professional debut, a significant injury has been sustained by Aliaksandr Radzionau. And he's still got 2 rounds and a minute of this round left to negotiate. So Oganesyan, having been frustrated when he made his way back to the corner at the end of round 5, seemingly more energized by the fact that he can see blood as he scores with a crisp right hook beneath the left elbow of Radzionau. Radzionau, his work deflected by the gloves on that attempted attack, and he must be bothered by the injury that he's sustained. He's trying to keep his concentration, but he's faced a crimson mask here now. As that cut sustained to the forehead here in round number 6 continues to leak profusely. So 2 inspections of the eye of the injury sustained by Radzionau. The heads continue to come close together on the inside. Closing seconds of round number 6. Again, without wishing to be overly graphic, that injured forehead has really provided a spur to Artem Oganesyan. He's enjoyed some successful moments during the course of that 6th round. Well, some of the action from round number 5. Beautiful counter left hand on the inside from Radzionau. But the heads slammed together at close range, causing a cut to the forehead of the Belarusian boxer. Wonderful left uppercut as the final shot of that replay sequence, scored by Artem Oganesyan. So moving to round number 7. Artem Oganesyan with a crisp counter left uppercut once again, then a left cross driven into the body. Mention the fact that he's coming into the ring after a layoff since June of 2022. There's a roundhouse right. That's a wonderful shot, followed by a jolting jab from Radzionau. In that defeat, he was on the floor in round 1, Oganesyan, against the veteran Dante Jordan, fighting for the NABF title at 154 pounds, super welterweight, belt previously held by world champions Ronald Winky Wright and Andy Lee. Also a strap held by Canelo's brother, Ramon Alvarez. And of course, Canelo making his first professional bout outside of the continent of North America this weekend. They'll be featuring in Saudi Arabia in the early hours, Saudi Arabian time, to suit Mexican and US time zones. And again, that's a measure of the quality of Artem Oganesyan. He's being outscored and outworked in the first half of the contest for my money. But the cut sustained in the previous round by Radzionau have been an aid in bringing Oganesyan back into it. He's found his range with his backhand in particular over the previous few rounds. And Oganesyan, Radzionau, just a little less crisp with his movement and sharp shooting than he was through rounds 2, 3, and 4. Not too far away with the left cross, looking for a right uppercut underneath. Oganesyan scoring right hook to the body during that flurry from Radzionau. Nice defense with the right glove to ride that right cross. Fired in by Radzionau. Effective movement from the waist and good use of the gloves from Oganesyan. Three-shot combination from Radzionau. And there it's altogether more purposeful as he scored with the left jab upstairs and finished with a right hook, left hook to the body. Counter right hook came over the top from Oganesyan. And this is taking on a bit of a back and forth nature through these previous couple of completed rounds. Oganesyan and Radzionau exchanging a sporting touch of gloves in that show of respect as the bell sounds to conclude round number 7.
Секунданты. Зарин.
Давай. Свой бокс.
Уважаемые гости, это 8-й раунд. Заключительный.
So to the 8th and final round of this 71-kilogram light middleweight contest. Roundhouse right is the first scoring shot of this final session from the debutant Aliaksandr Radzionau. He has come out with aggressive intent to begin this 8th and final round. He's certainly the busier boxer through the first 50 seconds of the final 3 minutes. Oganesyan, aware of that, backed his man up behind a jab which he was using as a rangefinder and was altogether close up with the left cross to the body which followed. The two men still possessing the fitness and sharpness to feint on the edge of range. Pillow-fisted punches coming from Radzionau as he seeks to keep the judges happy with volume. Altogether more power being generated on the punches of Oganesyan.
No holding. Stop! Don't do the back. Box!
So referee Mr. Boban Damjanovic of Serbia is reminding Radzionau that he's not to turn his back on his opponent. That, against the rules of course, accuracy just decreasing a little now beyond the halfway stage of this final round. Another left cross lands once again from Oganesyan. Back with a good burst of punches to both body and head comes Radzionau. Counter right hook was a nice shot from Oganesyan. Teeing off first in response is Radzionau. Big swing and a miss with the right hand. Backhand was inaccurate from Oganesyan as well. The initial right hand miss came from the orthodox boxer. And again, he's making a point of teeing off first here. Not all of the shots are getting through, but a couple of them during these clusters are. And a sneaky left hand landed on the disengagement from Radzionau. Closing 20 seconds. And this has been a really mature performance from Radzionau. He just scores with another sneaky right hand lead, then makes his opponent miss with a lead left hand out of the southpaw stance. I think it's been a display of real maturity, because he's been dragged into something of a dogfight in a bout where both boxers have sustained injuries due to clashes of heads. A wonderful left hand landed. The final moments of quality produced by Aliaksandr Radzionau. And I happen to think that the debutant will have done enough to have his hand raised as the victor here. Artem Oganesyan returning to the ring for the first time since June 2022. Perhaps took a little time, unsurprisingly, to find his distance and timing on this, his return to the boxing ring. But he competed spiritedly and produced or played his part in what was a wonderful spectacle for the fans in attendance. But I happen to think it's Aliaksandr Radzionau who did the better work overall. Here's the evidence of the cut sustained in round number 5 after a clash of heads by Artem Oganesyan. There was a cut forehead that another clash of heads inflicted onto this man, Aliaksandr Radzionau, sustaining that cut in the middle of his brow. So each man having to deal with that adversity. Oganesyan did find his range and timing, particularly with the backhand, from around the 5th round onwards. Some notable crosses, because his cut right eye was inflicted after he landed his best shot of the entire contest to that point, a rapier-like left cross. And then he began to have success with the uppercut, worked the body effectively in round number 6 as well, where he really did pick it up after he saw the injury inflicted by the accidental clash of heads on the forehead of Aliaksandr Radzionau. But I don't think he's done enough to win overall, but I think he was in the contest throughout. Just not sure that he's done enough to win the contest, but that's just my verdict from our commentary position here. It's all going to come down to the verdicts of the 3 scoring judges. Physical contest, and again, what a professional debut for Radzionau here on IBA.PRO 5.
Здесь была кровь, здесь был характер и воля к победе. И в центре ринга Александр Родионов и Артем Оганесян. Этот бой продлился все 8 раундов и был непростым. По его завершении мы сообщаем вам о том, что единогласным решением судей в этом поединке одержал победу Artem Oganesyan.
Well, it's Artem Oganesyan who has been declared a victor. And that is testament to his tenacity, because I thought he was being outworked through the middle rounds. But it's Oganesyan who is declared the winner on points, a successful ring return, inflicting the defeat on the professional debutant Aliaksandr Radzionau. And again, testament to his composure under fire, because I thought he was being outworked in the early stages. But then through the middle rounds, he began to find the range, particularly with his southpaw left, in an incident-filled affair where both men sustained cuts after accidental head clashes. Oganesyan's coming in round number 5, Radzionau's coming the round after. And perhaps he's been rewarded for his greater purpose on his punches. Artem Oganesyan, who's been declared